One of the central goals of years or decades of spiritual purpose is not to get somewhere else. It's really to arrive at what is. And this is not an intellectual idea, although it may seem like one. It is experiential in depth. It is being present. One of the things that keeps you from being present is your mind in its enormous activity, which is interacting with the present, interpreting the present, presenting it to you in ways that are possibly digestible and possibly complicating, because the mind doesn't really have the capacity to tell you how to be present, how to be here now. The mind is always somewhere else. It serves a function, and we all know it because it reminds us to turn on the coffee and wash your face and all the little things that it reminds us of every day. But the real purpose of spiritual life is showing up in the present, being here. It doesn't happen by itself. We all know that. Left to our own devices, we're mostly primarily in a kind of slippery space, going from one place to another. Now, that doesn't mean it's not what is. It is a presentation of what is, but the what is much more profound and deeper than what the daily experience of what is seems to be. Activity, reaching for something, wanting something, building something, running from something, fearful of something, that's all part of the picture. But it all arises from something much more profound, the true what is. And the true what is includes everything. It includes all this, everything that's going on, your body, your comfort, your discomfort, your hopes, your fears, your ambitions. It's all part of what goes on, but it is springing from something that is truly present. And if you are not aware of that space of being, or whatever space limits it, because it has no space, but if you're not aware of the what is, you will be in a realm of profound disorientation and discomfort called life, and striving, struggling to get to a place that feels comfortable, feels at ease, something you can hold on to forever that will make you happy and joyous. And for those of you who've been around long enough, you know it's not discoverable. Whatever you find that's going to make you happy and comfortable and at ease, whatever it may be, your money, your comfort, your partner, whatever it is temporary. It's temporary and it's great, and enjoy it and say thank you for it, because it's a wonderful manifestation of what is. But the true what is that which manifests it, that which gives it life, that gives you life, that gives the universe presence and being. That space is the essence of what is. And if you don't know what is, then it's a good idea to try to find it. And excuse me for rubbing my nose. What is? The finding of what is, of course, it's all around you and it's here in all of this. Yes. And if you look at all of this closely and you enter into it, you are part of what is. But it is, if you will, arising from something that is more is than anything the mind can imagine. And finding it takes an effort that is not taught in our normal culture in any real way. The closest we come to it in Judeo-Christian culture is pray, ask for help in some, give me this, give me that, give me joy, give me whatever. But in the, the Hindu teaching that was taught to me and the Buddhist teaching by Rudy, there was a portal into the what is that was the very entry into the source of this. And if you go into the portal, and there actually are several, they're called chakras, and they're also called mind and heart and gut, if you will. If you go into these centers, you start to discover a pathway to what is. And it is part and parcel of all of this, but it's much more. It's much more. The entry into those spaces requires stopping your total obsession with give me comfort, give me pleasure, give me this, let me hold on to this. You have to let go of that, if only for so many minutes a day, but you have to stop and make this journey into your heart and feelings and emotional life, into your core of understanding and clarity and insight, into this ego structure that is there to give you an interaction with the what is outside, but also to allow you a voice to enter the inside of you, into the heart, which is feeling it all, into the gut, which is knowing without thought. These are really crucial spaces. And if you can enter into these spaces, you will begin to find the source of what is for you on a daily basis. Why bother? Well, it's a good question. Most people don't bother. They just live their life and they live what I call a very horizontal experience. The problem with that is that that horizontal experience ends. It is based in time. Time is part of the structure of what is, but it is only apparent for a period and then it disappears. Time arises and it falls away. We are born into time. When we come into time, what we experience is, oh, I'm here. I'm alive. That's life. Oh my God, it's so wonderful. Oh my God, it's so terrible. What's going to happen? So much suffering, so much joy. All of this comes into play. And what we are experiencing is being in the manifested state. But if you stop long enough on a daily basis and ask for help to go into the source of all of this experiential wonder, you find where it comes from. It is the absolute true what is. It is knowable. It is not an abstraction in the sense that it's something you imagine. It is not something that you make up. It is something that is making you up. And as you go into this source, you start to feel its presence. Going into the source involves effort, and it involves something called asking. Rudy would say, ask for help to surrender, help to open. These are really important. You can ask for help to go deeper, but going in is the beginning of this awareness or attunement to what is on a phenomenal level. And the way that I first understood what is, I mean, first of all, obviously, those who know my story, it came to me on an explosive LSD trip back in the 60s. I'm not telling anybody here to take LSD, but when I met Rudy, I discovered the doorway. And the doorway was back into that strange space that LSD kind of made me aware of, but it became my entry point. I'm not going to take LSD every day. All I want to do is sit quietly and find it. And finding it took practice, it took dedication, it took Rudy's help because he said, I can help give you additional energy that will make this possible. That's the great thing about a teacher. A real teacher helps you find the way to what is, because a real teacher opens to and is a manifestation of what is. And being a manifestation of what is a realization and an experience and a feeling that you are attuned to it. And more than that, you are one with it. My experience is a lifelong search with many, many moments of discovery, but an attunement at the end of my life, which is approaching rapidly, and this feeling of uh, there are so many words for it, so many ways to describe it. Poets, musicians, writers, anybody who tries to describe it, painters, to describe this, uh, know that it feels like uh, words that are so limited. It feels like love. It feels like I got your back. I'm here. I am. This is real. It taps you on the shoulder very, very lightly and assures you this is the way. This is the way. And if you get lost because your mind is dominating you or your emotions are dominating you, and you stop and you ask inside for help to surrender, and the quietude that you give yourself for 1 minute or 2 minutes or a half hour, this thing rises up and goes. Simple as that. Taps you, touches you. You know it. You know it. It is so available. It is so at the core of every human journey. You are not out there by yourself and other than anybody else. You have access to the source which made you and is making you now and is the true what is. You have the source in you and available and expressing itself at every minute. Even when you slam your finger, even when you drop, I was filling my pill cases yesterday. 3 times I dropped all the cases on the floor and had to put all the pills back in the bottle. And I went, whoa, whoa, why me? Why me? And this little thing went, it calmed me down. It just made me realize, one, you're getting old. Two, you're getting sloppy. You don't have the muscular memory that you had a month ago or a year ago. This is part of the process. And that becomes really important because I gave a talk last week about the some of the medical dramas and things that I'm going through. And there was so much response that varied from, here's how you can fix it, to, oh, I'm so sorry, et cetera, et cetera. All very sweet. But what I'm doing here is trying to say, what is going on with me, with Blanche, with our lives right now as we move down toward the end zone, is there is a great change in the outer form of what is. The outer form is deteriorating. It's falling apart on many levels. It is coming at me in ways I have never seen before. And I'm looking at all of this and I'm going, yikes, but I am a spiritual teacher. Okay. I've gotten myself into that structure. The good thing about it is that I actually have been told to help you and others and myself see what is, even when everything that appears to be what is deteriorating. The end of life is a massive deterioration, a massive falling away, a complete unmappable world that we are all going to enter. And I talk about it not to look for sympathy, not to look for medicational cures. I talk about it because this is coming for you. Now, it could be end of life, it could be much faster. Anything can happen, even politically, even geopolitically, or even part of the world condition. Things happen, they change, and they come at you. The what is different. But the what is, which manifests all of that drama and all of that stuff, I can't say it's changeable because I don't have a true non-changeable, I was going to say. I don't, I have access to something which cannot be expressed in words, at least not clearly. But I feel no matter what happens in this disintegration of the outer, this thing inside that comes and touches and loves and gives and holds and embraces and says, shh, shh, it's okay, is so real, so profound, and so available to anyone who looks for it. Seek and ye shall find, knock and the door shall be open. It's available. It's available. But if you don't do your part in all of this, if you wait to the very end of your life when you are completely lost in the magnitude of change and this disorder that may come into your life, it's late in the game. It's a muscle. Rudy said it's a muscle. If you don't work it, it becomes a problem. And if you're young and you're doing your muscles and then you get older and your muscles start to atrophy, you have to have some system that works beyond the muscle that just knows the pathway into the what is, into your soul, your heart, your being, and it will go, don't worry, don't worry. But it will tell you, and I'm learning this now in a way that is, I mean, it's painful. Watching life disintegrate around me is very painful. You're all getting a taste of it, if nothing else politically, but watching it disintegrate is hard. And it throws you into fear. It throws you into what now? It throws you into a whole new canvas of kind of colors and possibilities. And the job is what's the painting you make now? What's the music you write now? How do you find the way to deal with the now? And the only way I have found is get quiet and realize that this journey into what is not once a day for 30 minutes. It's not even kind of watching the general unfolding of things in the larger scale every day and sort of being aware. It is moment to moment to moment, moment to moment to moment. And I'm having that as an exact, real, honest experience every day. And the best thing that happens as a result of 50 or 60 years of meditation is every day when this little thing comes and taps me, I go, thank you, thank you. I also, you probably know this, I stopped meditating after 44 years of daily sitting. What has transpired in my life is pretty amazing, including this awakening and this enlightenment, and then all of that fading away and turning into Bruce and enlightenment, and then realizing it's all one thing. It's just one thing, one massive thing, and finding joy and amazement in it. But I do maintain a, I call it a dialogue, you might call it a dialogue with the universe and with what is all the time. I sit in the car and I talk. I sit in the car and I dialogue with or monologue with the universe, and I just tell it everything. I tell it what I'm doing, what's going on. I mean, it doesn't want to hear most of that stuff, but I really try to get into the core things like, boy, this is hard. Boy, this moment in my life is unlike anything I've ever had to deal with before. Boy, I'm going to need help. Thank you for showing me the greenery of the trees around me because I'm really embracing spring in a way I've never embraced it before. Thank you. That's the kind of dialogue I have. You can probably think I'm crazy, but it is comforting. And this thing comes back to me, usually not as a voice, sometimes as a voice, but mostly as, don't worry, don't worry. It's okay. I'm here. We're here. It is. It has always been. It will always be. It is. That's what I get. I get it every day. I don't have to meditate every day to get there. I have to say, somehow part of what my decades worth of practice has brought me is a kind of presence of awareness that I am and it is, and they're the same thing. The same thing. I'm sharing all this with you because, I always am concerned that this may be my last my last talk, and so everyone is starting to sound like a last talk. But I want you to know, as old age comes for you, and it will, or suffering that's unexpected and unprepared, you need to know how to do this. And I'm telling you, it's a thing that is not a generalized once a day or once in a while thing. You may have to do it all day long. And I am learning, forgive me because I don't want your sympathy, all night long. It just goes on. This drama, this unfolding, this deterioration, this thing of being and then not being starting to all occur is something that becomes very conscious. And you have to go, okay, do I understand it? No. Is it comprehensible? Probably not. But can you endure it and grow from it or expand from it, it's unbelievable. Because the joy of touching self, the joy of being alive, the joy of being aware of what is is unbelievable. It's worth being born for. It's worth living for. It's worth suffering for. This experience of being is the universe itself, or if you will, God itself, making itself known to itself through you. Through you. You are part of this process. You are part of the what is. You are an amazing part of what is. And if you haven't figured that out, it doesn't care. But you might care because you can be one with it. You can touch it. You can live it. You can breathe it. You can have it as part of your reality. And I'm telling you, it beats the alternative. Reach in deep, transcend, find the depth, and realize that what is everywhere and pervasive, and it is you. The end. Um, you know, I guess if there are questions to that, let me hear them.
Bruce, Tony Stern here.
Okay, Tony?
Thank you for that beautiful talk and the preceding meditation. When you just said it doesn't care, my own sense, and I'd like to get your view of this, my own sense is part of it doesn't care, but part of it does.
Well, the answer to that is yes.
Okay.
Of course. Of
Yeah.
course. My experience, which I talked about last August, was whether I should go to my niece's daughter's bat mitzvah in California, which was a big effort. And my back was really bad. And I didn't know if I should go or not go. And I started asking the universe, should I go? Should I not go? I'm the oldest one in the family. Should I be there? Should I make the effort? All the problems with the plane and my back and all the travels. And I went through this whole thing. And I said, just tell me, should I go? Should I not go? And the answer came back. And this was real words. And it was really, this was really strong. It said, not our problem. And that really helped me a lot because there are things that are not, the universe has bigger things than your decision to go traveling or help.
And yet, at least in my experience, sometimes the universe actually says very clearly, in this case, yes, you should go, or no, you shouldn't go. I mean, the universe experience it shows up both ways. Not our problem at times.
You're breaking up, which
Oh
somehow
no, don't go there.
you're breaking up, and I think your breaking up is appropriate. Um, I don't think this is to be discussed in a way. I don't think it's a debate. I don't think it's to be brought into the mind and made intellectual. I don't think it's to be thought about. It's a simple thing. You know, you want to be with what is, period. If you need to get too mental about it, it's going to go, not involved, not our problem. You can live your life any way you want. You can do it any way you want. You can be evil and terrible and wonderful and beautiful. I'm telling you, it designs or reveals the nature of the what is to itself. And it's an amazing, amazing universe that we have found ourselves in. And I'm telling you, if you wake up in the morning and you hear the birds outside the window as I do, if you look at the trees which have bloomed like nothing I've ever seen before, all the fish are back and they are back and hungry as ever can be and are so beautiful, gold and colorful, all moving through the pond. Just sitting there, just being with them. I got it. I got it. It's enough. It's what is. Okay. I think
Bruce,
it's
I have a quick
right.
question.
Okay. Janice.
Is Shakti also part of the conversation?
Shakti is a beginning of a process of energy rising from the deadness and the dullness of the day-to-day life into a higher expression of that energy. Rising Shakti is kind of consciousness rising, or you can call it inspiration. It's kind of uplift. It's kind of moving higher up to a higher version of who you are and what you are. It's important. Sometimes Shakti rising is an actual physical sensation. Rudy used to be able to look at us, and my Shakti would go, and you see it even in class now when I teach, like that up my spine, like that. It was doing something. It was clearing a pathway because there was so much obstruction and rigidity in my being. And this moved the energy up higher and higher and higher. And as that energy went up, I was able to start breaking through to layers of quietude and stillness and perception that I hadn't had before. That was a gift. Shakti is a part of the spiritual meditative journey. And if you have certain kinds of teachers that transmit Shakti, which was Rudy, not everybody does that. If you have that kind of teacher, for me, just go thank you. Take the energy in and let it do its work. I can see how the energy works, and it does break through for people. I mean, there's nobody that I work with that the energy doesn't tell me at some moment, done, done. It did the thing it needed to do. Sometimes it's Shakti rising, sometimes it's breaking through something in the egocentric center, sometimes it's something within the body, the down, the knowing of gut level awareness. Something happens. Shakti is an amazing tool. It's unique. I only found it with Rudy. His teacher Nityananda had it in spades, from what I'm told. He hardly had to look at you. He could do it. He could rain it down on people. I don't know about that stuff, but I believe it, and I know that I learned lessons that Rudy taught me, and they've kept me sitting in this seat, trying to share that with whoever wants to listen, whether it's a billion people or two. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Just do it. Just share. Anybody else?
Bruce, I
Yes.
have a question.
Mhm.
When you said go deeper at the beginning of class, I find sometimes when I'm trying to go, I guess, deeper into the what is, it can get a little spacey and complex. And I've been starting to just bring it back to deeper equals like navel chakra or just deeper into the system. Is there any way that you would relate with that?
Um, yeah, I wouldn't be analytical about it. And because I think
Okay.
that gets into trouble. And I think that is a place you often go to. You have a great mind and you have great analytic power, but that is not the doorway. It's to bypass that, bypass the knowing that figures it out. It is experiential, it is attunement. When you and Wendy hug, your mind is not going, oh, I know if I hug this way, I hug that way, this will open and that will open. You just hug. You just
Mm.
hug. And when you really hug and you love, something opens inside you. It's not cognitive. It's just like, oh, oh. I was watching a show last night, and it was like two people kissed, and it was a moment before they kissed, and you saw everything fall away, everything mental, just things that I'm not a good person, I'm not ready. All this stuff that went away, and the hug and the kiss was so beautiful and so emotional, I cannot tell you. So the cognitive is not your friend in the spiritual journey. It just is not. And I would say the idea of surrender means let your mind go. Let the thought that's trying to determine it go. It's something else. It's something else entirely. It's knowing, not thinking. And when you hug someone and you kiss someone and you love someone, it's totally non-cognitive. I'm going to stop for a moment and do one more quick thing, and anybody who's still around. Um, a month from this weekend, we are doing a retreat in Big Indian. You all know that. You're going to get emails about it today from me telling you the where of it, where you can get hotel rooms if you want to come, where you can get Airbnbs, whatever you would like to do. It'll be a 2-day retreat. And I talked about it, and many of us talk about it as a pilgrimage, but it really is an opportunity to make an effort to go to the source of much of Rudy's teaching, meaning a space, and say thank you. And it's really a potent thing to do. Otherwise, why bother? But going up to Rudy's shrine and seeing the statue and sitting in that space is shockingly meaningful. I've had experiences in certain parts of the world, like in India, going to Sarnath, where Buddha gave his first lecture, and I actually felt I was on holy ground. Walking to Rudy's Samadhi statue is holy ground, and you will feel that if you want to make the journey. It's a big one. It's hard and not easy, but we are doing it in the ashram that Rudy built Now that ashram has a huge story. And that when Rudy died, it went to John Mann, who cared for it for a long time. And then we tried to find someone to buy it. And a guy named Lama Rengbar bought it and really thought he'd make it into a spiritual garden, which he really began to do. And it's amazingly lovely. The big house that used to have the hotel in it is probably beyond repair. We don't know, but suddenly Lama Rengbar is no longer part of the equation. Miss Long story, and I said this a year ago when we canceled the retreat. His disappearance or his departure has to do with certain misbehaviors. I'm not going to get into any of that. But Daniel Subkoff, who is the son of Cheryl and George Subkoff, who introduced Blanche and I, who's still very much part of this universe. And in fact, if more than ever, he's become one of the primary board of directors of that group. And he has encouraged me to do the retreat, and I want to do it. And so we are, and you will get information about it. One thing that's come up, which I'm finding and have found, and we've talked about it, a little bit problematic, we are going to ask for donations. I have never asked for donations for the work I do. I would never ask for money for this practice. But if you want to help to sustain the Big Indian ashram, to help pay for the electricity and the various things we'll be using, the air conditioning while we are there, we're asking for a donation of $50 a day from anybody who comes. If you can afford that, that would be helpful. If you can't, then don't, because this is not about money. But we want to keep the Big Indian ashram running, not just for our weekend, but in general, it's to expand it. And it needs a lot of help and care. So there will probably be a second email talking about the possibility of donating more than simply the $50 a day for the retreat. I don't know your financial situations. I don't know your care, but I will tell you this place deserves to be sustained. It has vast energy that is magical on some level. It is very the part of the what is. And so anyone who feels inclined, Daniel will help you with a kind of call a place where you can donate funds that will be part of the recreation of and the sustaining of Big Indian. If you want to know more about that, we can talk about it. But right now, I just want you to know in 4 weeks, the weekend of the 14th and 15th of June, we will have a gathering there. You can come one day or both days. You can get a hotel. It is a very special experience. It's 2 classes a day, lunch in between, a big dinner the night, Saturday night, and you're all welcome. It's a wonderful way to be part of this community. If you can't come, no guilt. We understand. If you can come, something in you will go. Oh.
What are the dates, Bruce?
The 14th and 15th of June, Saturday and Sunday. And I may try to broadcast this class as well over a if the Wi-Fi is working over the Zoom. If it isn't, perhaps we'll record it and post it later, or otherwise it will. You'll have to imagine what I said. You probably are pretty good at that already. So much love to you all, and we will have a bigger discussion about everything down the road, I hope. Meanwhile, sit down and enter what is. It's worth it.